When I married Sarah, I thought I had found my life partner. She was strong, ambitious, and brilliant, a woman who had built her company from scratch. I admired her drive so much that I left my own small tech startup to join her empire. I became the man behind the curtain, the one who developed systems, wrote codes, and protected the foundation of her million-dollar company. She was the face of success, and I was the invisible architect. But things started to change when Sarah became distant. At first, I thought it was just the stress of work, but then came the late nights, the business trips, and the secretive phone calls. I ignored the signs, convincing myself it was all in my head. After all, she was my wife and my boss. Betrayal was the last thing I expected. One morning, she called me into her office, not as a wife but as a CEO. Her voice was cold and sharp, and beside her sat a man I had never met before, handsome, smug, and clearly enjoying my discomfort. "This is Daniel," she said flatly. "From today, he'll be taking over your role. You're fired." Just like that, my wife fired me from the company I helped her build, for the man she was secretly sleeping with. I stared at her, waiting for some sign that it was a cruel joke. But her expression was hard as stone. Daniel smirked at me, as if to say, "You've lost everything." My heart shattered, but my mind stayed sharp. I didn't beg, didn't protest. I simply stood, nodded, and left quietly. They thought they had won. They didn't know the seed I had planted years ago. In the early days of building her company, Sarah had trusted me completely with the tech infrastructure. I had designed the core system, the one her entire empire rested upon. And in that system, hidden deep within the code, was something I called the Phoenix Protocol, a dormant program that only I knew about. It was a fail-safe, meant to protect me in case she ever betrayed me. For weeks after being discarded, I lived in silence, nursing my broken heart. But silence soon turned to determination. If she had chosen greed and betrayal over love, then she had to face the cost of that choice. I began preparing, activating the code piece by piece for my private server. It was like pulling threads from a spider's web. Slowly but surely, the empire began to shake. At first, Sarah's company experienced minor glitches. Emails went missing, deals got delayed, financial records showed small errors. She blamed her employees, fired innocent people, and leaned heavily on Daniel, who pretended to know what he was doing. I watched from the shadows, smiling at their arrogance. Then the real storm began. Client databases vanished, supply chains froze, and investors started pulling out. One morning, headlines screamed about mysterious breaches and unrecoverable losses. Sarah tried to keep her image polished, but I could see her empire collapsing in real time. Daniel panicked. Without my systems, he was useless, and soon, rumors spread of him stealing money behind her back. The man she betrayed me for was now betraying her. She was losing not only her company but her reputation and her so-called lover. I watched as she went from being a celebrated CEO to a desperate woman clinging to the ruins of what was once her empire. Every news channel, every business magazine highlighted her downfall. The $10 million company was now nothing more than ashes, thanks to the hidden code she had unknowingly carried all along. One night, Sarah showed up at my apartment. Her eyes were swollen from crying, her voice trembling. "Please," she whispered, "I need your help. You're the only one who can fix this." For a moment, I saw the woman I once loved, broken and begging. But love was long gone. I looked her in the eye and said, "You fired me for your boyfriend, Sarah. Now you can ask him to save you." Her face crumbled as she realized the finality of my words. She left that night, defeated, and I never saw her again. Her company was auctioned off, her name forever stained in the business world. Daniel disappeared with what little money was left, leaving her with nothing. As for me, I built something new from the ground up, a company under my own name this time. And unlike Sarah, I valued loyalty, trust, and respect. The Phoenix Protocol had done its job, and I rose from the ashes, stronger, wiser, and free. In the end, Sarah lost everything because she betrayed the one person who truly had her back. And I gained everything because I refused to let betrayal define me. Her empire fell, but mine was just beginning.